So it looks like the debate is done. Does it not at the minute? It looks like Isak stays at Newcastle, and it looks like Hugo Ekitike is on his way to Liverpool, according there to David Ornstein as well. Newcastle are now exploring the option of Johan Wissa from Brentford as they cool their Ekitike interest, which, I mean, I know they've been after him since 2022, but in this window specifically, I think it was a smokescreen. And actually, have they won this situation, Flex?
Who, Liverpool?
No, Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle. Newcastle United got a 70 million bid rejected.
Yeah.
They tried.
Yeah.
Like, they put big money down to sign Hugo Ekitike.
Was it purposely a low bid to almost force Liverpool into showing their hand?
No, I think this is... Liverpool are operating from a position of power and strength, which is like, you got to take your hats off to them. They went, listen, we got this British transfer record for Isak, but if you don't want him, we're going to take your number one target. Yeah. Like, so you got a position. You look at it. But then they have a position of strength because, you know what? They don't have to sell Isak.
Yeah.
Knowing that there is a £120 million opening bid there, Newcastle United have the chance to say, and I'm actually glad they have in a way, to say, we're not going to change our stance on saying, one of the big boys have come, the Premier League champions have come, we're going to sell Isak. They're like, no, we are PSR compliant. We don't have to sell to buy. We're in a strong position. We want to show the fans that with this Saudi ownership that we want to kick on and maintain what we've got. We're in the Champions League. Isak's got 3 years left on his deal. His value's not going to drop anytime soon. They could still probably sell him for 100 mil, 90 mil next year with 2 years left on his deal if he performs anywhere near how he does perform. The player's protected, not going to agitate for a move. We're Newcastle United. We ain't selling. Yes, as a byproduct of that, it meant that you did outmuscle them for Hugo Ekitike. But I think Newcastle win from this as well. They're not like the biggest losers.
No.
I think it shows a position of strength for them that actually gone are the days that the Premier League champions, let's be honest, who should be able to get the pick of what they want, just spent 100 million up front for Verts and committed 50 million add-ons. Really, that should be like, we're coming to take Isak. No, Newcastle went, no. Our stance is still the same. You're not going to entice us by saying, if you change your mind, we do have 120 there, though, which is big money. Yeah. But then you go, who are you going to replace him with? We just got back in the Champions League. We just won a trophy for the first time in God knows how long against Liverpool. We've proven we can compete. We want to build. We're keeping Bruno Guimaraes. We're keeping Tonali. We're keeping Isak. We are keeping our best players. So I like the fact that they've done that. But also, from the Liverpool side of it, you had the gauntlet in the thumbnail.
Thanos collecting stones out
bro.
Here.
Liverpool are on some big club energy, bro.
But the way Newcastle fans are going on, right? Matty Renton.
What was he saying?
It's like every day his mind changes, in my opinion.
Right?
Because I had him on the other day on the Cop TV, and he was saying, "Look, man, you know we want Ekitike. We're going to change up the formations." And then I send him the fact that Newcastle have left the talks and we're into him, and he goes, "Isak stays, happy days." And I was like, "I thought you wanted Hugo." He's like, "Over Isak," and I was like, "But you said you wanted both."
They wanted both.
And he goes, "In an ideal world, but." When you came in for him, we forced you into your second choice. Enjoy baby Isak. He could flop in the Prem, flopped at PSG. We'll keep the main man.
Yeah, no, I see why he said. As a Newcastle United fan, I would probably say the same. The price.
I think it was a
but no, you lot wanted Isak. If you could get Isak, you get Isak. But he's saying you can't because we said no.
But would it? If Isak did speak out and maybe go,
that's different. But there you go. The player's happy. I don't know what you lot think. Do you feel like Isak's a player in this moment when he's got 3 years left on his deal, he just got back in the Champions League, to agitate now? That's the only way I could have seen that happening is if he goes and says, Eddie, like, let me go.
I think he's got a lot of respect for Newcastle, the fact that they spent a lot of money on him from Real Sociedad when a lot of people had questions and doubts. Obviously, that fan base is mad passionate, very much backing that team all the way, and you saw that with the trophy and the performance last year. So I think he does have some sort of loyalty towards them and some like grateful, mindset towards them. And I think, listen, 2 years left, that's when I think things will be a little bit sticky because you don't want to let him go down to 1 year and then you're really not getting the money that you probably deserve. And like you said, with PSR and these things, you don't want to be throwing away potentially 50, 60 million on a player like that. Maybe it'll be Barcelona next summer that test the waters because obviously Lewandowski's getting older. But yeah, I think for Newcastle and Liverpool, I think both of you have won. There doesn't have to be a loser. Liverpool have got a very, very talented player. I'm not going to pretend like I don't rate him now just because he's going to Liverpool. I want him at Chelsea. I thought he would have been pretty shrewd signing for us. Obviously, the price is high, and now you need evidence maybe in the Premier League. But I think the guy is teched out, man. I think he's going to suit Liverpool down to the ground. When I look at Liverpool forwards that have failed, it's your Nunez's, it's your Andy Carroll's, it's your Benteke's. When you got that source in your game and you're a striker at Liverpool, it tends to fit. So I don't really see how it doesn't work. Maybe slow start, maybe hopefully adaptation to the Premier League. That's my hope. That's my hope.
Well, the second game's against Newcastle.
That's going to be a lot of fun. What this does is it closes the Premier League together, because if Liverpool get Isak, I'm not saying the league's over, but it's a problem.
Be over.
Big problem. This is a guy that's done back-to-back 20 goals.
It'd be over.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it'd be over.
Yeah, Salah assisting him, creating for him. Verts, big chance creator.
Thank God Newcastle's strong. I couldn't see it.
It's
So has
long.
Ekitike rejected Newcastle then?
I guess we'll never know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Liverpool's
I've
obviously
listened
gonna
to what you guys have
be
said,
high pecking order.
and you do make some salient points. I guess Newcastle can come out of it with a little bit of respect and say, look, but we kept Isak. But the optics of it to me is like, they got big boys, man. Basically, Liverpool just said, yo, what's that you got in your pocket? Give me that.
Yeah, but they said no, you
And
can't
they
have
said
it.
no, and they said, all right, well, if you're not going to give me that,
I'll
see
take that.
Ekitike
Take your girl.
We're taking something.
Yeah,
Pick your
you know what
poison.
I mean?
Yeah,
I'm leaving with something.
Yeah. So them say, all right.
But
you're
they
not
picked the
giving-
right choice though.
Yeah, if you're not giving me the watch, you're giving me the chain. Take off that.
And honestly, my
was that.
stance
It was,
on it.
It was that.
Yeah, it was. Take
You know
that.
what I mean?
Lunch money there.
And I think the only reason why they kept the chain or the watch is because of Isak's loyalty and saying, yeah, it's all right, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have said, yo, take off.
But they won't feel like that though, because like I said, we can't act like Liverpool's prime target. If they could choose, they're getting Isak, bro. Let's not act like Liverpool are not getting their second target.
They are, but what does
they're
this
happy
mean
to
for the
have
rest
him.
of the budget with Rodrygo?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. But
yeah.
you know what I'm saying about the big boy team? They basically come and say, all right, if you're not give it Isak,
Yeah.
we're taking
I'm
They're
leaving
doing
with
what Manchester
something.
United
Yeah,
used to
and
do
you
under
get
Ferguson.
nothing.
This is what
And
Manchester
I
United.
love it.
Berbatov.
We are flexing.
Tevez.
We are puffing out
That's
our
how it
chest
came
right
over
now.
to me.
Carrick.
I'm not going to lie.
This is what Man United used to do under
Berbatov.
Ferguson. They used to just take the best players in the Prem,
the
try and
time.
out-muscle
Tevez,
everyone.
Berbatov.
Yeah,
Andy
and
Cole,
just
Dwight York.
Andy Cole,
Yeah.
that's how it goes, man. That's what the big
Eric
teams do.
Cantona.
I'll be honest, right? I've always said that what the realistic option is and how it will end up is we get Ekitike and Isak stays. I'd never really thought he was ever the type of player to dig his feet and kick up a fuss and throw his toys out the pram and force the move. I didn't ever think that. But I think when you look at it optically, right, the stats are there. We've seen the Venn diagram with all the stats where actually Ekitike is a bit higher than Isak in some departments. But I do think for the price, knowing his injury, the injury record was a little bit of an issue for me. For that kind of money, it was a little bit of a blotch for me on the record.
He's improved
Well,
a little
Isak-
bit.
It has
hasn't
improved. He only missed 4 games
Yeah,
last
he's
season,
improved,
which has
yeah.
improved.
Like the previous
But,
seasons, you were looking.
You know, if Ekitike is available there, they want about 86 mil. If we pay that, I think we've got someone who in 2 years could be better than Isak.
86 million
I
pounds.
must admit, though,
Pounds.
is it me
That's what
or
they
that,
want.
like the
Is it?
way in which he's been spoken of in recent days? It's almost like they're up in the
yeah.
ante, innit?
And you
I
do
mean,
have to be
he
careful.
did play for Frankfurt. Like he played in that against Tottenham.
Like
He
15
weren't-
goals,
you know what I
like
mean?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not.
he went
He's
to
not going to
PSG,
be.
it
He
didn't
might not
work.
be an instant. Yeah, it might not be
Might
an
not be.
instant
No, but the
hit.
way
like,
people are talking about him right now is like,
Is that he is
"Wow,
Isak?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
and he's not. But
Come
actually,
on, bro.
him
You are
going to
buying
Liverpool
potential
though,
as well.
you're buying potential, and I think with Arne Slot and his track record with what we've just seen
Yeah.
of how he improves players,
Yeah, it's exciting.
you're gonna be on the side of like Ekitike will bang. But let's be real, he's a young kid coming
Yeah.
to this
No, I agree.
division.
Oh, and one thing I would say, I do agree with you. Anyhow, you lot would have got Isak. Everything done.
Yeah.
So,
Bro,
Isak's
there were
it.
What, even now you man Jokeres though, you had ban for
Everything
ban.
done.
What do you mean?
No, but Isak was our first choice.
yeah, but you never.
I wouldn't ever rule out Pep and City and Harden.
Yeah.
And, but I'm just, there were people saying,
You
like,
said yourself it's a big
it's a
problem.
people were saying in my
I
comments.
saw your video the
People were
other
saying
day.
in my comments, it doesn't really matter if Isak goes to Liverpool.
No,
I said-
that matters.
I said, what?
That matters for the good of football.
What?
That matters.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
I mean, you got to think about it. Liverpool won the
It
title.
matters.
Liverpool won the title last year. Let's face it, at a canter with a misfiring centre forward. You imagine they then get one of the best centre forwards in world football.